Hi, I have in front of me the Edition 3-in-1 Underline combo set-top box. This is basically an S2 T2 box, so it has both terrestrial and satellite tuners on it. It's available with free delivery anywhere in Ireland and the UK. It's a really super box. It comes fully pre-programmed. And the channels are grouped into, the logical things of the main channels, some of the news channels, children's channels, all etc. It has an option of automatic channel updating on it, so you can pull down the latest channel list directly from our server onto the box. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to give an overview directly onto this particular unit, and then we'll come back and we'll talk in some detail about exactly what comes with the box. The overall thing I'm just going to stress at this point is just what a neat box this is. Imagine this is a combo box here, and in terms of both price and reliability, this has really proven to be a massively popular unit for us. We have it designed with a 3-pin plug now as standard because it's specifically we're aiming it at the UK and Irish market. So we just come along here. I have the Irish channels currently tuned in on it. So it'll work with both Freeview HD and also SereView HD channels, and also then with all the high definition free-to-air channels as well, although it has a card reader as well, so it is possible to add additional. So if we just come along here and we just see the group channel list, we can see we can bring up 30 channels at a go. At this point, I've added on the Irish channels just to demonstrate them there. If you buy this box pre-programmed, what will happen is it'll come with all the UK channels pre-programmed, and you actually just add in the Irish channels or the UK free channels for your local transmitter, okay? So if we work along here, we can see that there's 30 channels at a go. And then just work across. So you can see how well organized it is, all the rest of it. And if we wanted to just jump into a channel, we can program in here and we'll just flick over there to Al Jazeera. It'll pop up in the background. And or we can come back here, we'll say to something like Travel TV here. And we'll just go here. So then we're directly into it there. So what I'll do here is I'll just hit the OK button again. It'll just bring us back in, and I'll scroll back over, we'll say, to the RT News channel now. So we'll just do that. In terms of, we can just see the ease of use and all the rest of it. What I'll do at this point is we'll just come back along, and I'll just move back to talk about the unit here in a little bit of detail. So the first thing I'm going to say is what comes with it. So we'll just pull out here, we'll say, and it just comes in this outer box, which you can see here. We also have the power unit, which I explained earlier, comes with a 3-pin plug. We have a remote control, which is excellent both in terms of the range and angle. We have a set of AAA batteries, and then we'll say we have various other cables here. So one of the cables that's we have here is, for instance, a 3.5 millimeter to RCA connection on. So normally people will be using it with HDMI link, but you can use this to convert it over to an RCA, which then could be used, we'll say, either with an RCA or a SCART input on your TV. We have a cable here, once again a 3.5. This is a cable here that will allow you to push firmware back onto the box if you manage to make a mistake in terms of put the wrong firmware on it. And that's just an RS232 cable. And then we have just an option of a blaster here, which can actually allow you to discreetly mount the box and put the blaster with it. So if we just turn this, if we look at the front of the unit here, we'll see it. And if we just turn the unit to the side, we'll see there's a USB port here. If I turn the unit over here, we'll see that we have a card reader, which is actually here underneath the unit, and there's pads here which will actually allow this box to be mounted directly, very discreetly, onto a wall, we'll say, behind the thing. So we can keep the box out of sight and just operate it via the IR blaster if we choose to do so. And then in terms of the inputs on the back here, we've an S2 satellite input here, so you can support all the free satellite channels and the high definition channels. What we have here then is a T2 input here, which will work actually with cable, but also with the Freeview and SereView HD channels at the full range. And then what we have is an SPDIF digital optical output. We could output here with HDMI, which we'd normally do. We can put it directly onto the net here using an Ethernet cable, or we'll say we could use the option of the USB port on the side that I showed earlier. We could use a USB dongle here to connect it onto the Wi-Fi network. Interestingly, the USB port can be used for a few things. You could use it for putting on a channel list. You could use it for if you're doing recording. It's a PVR ready box. So we have videos in the series that you cover the whole recording, etc. on it. And there's a fantastic media player on this as well. So you could use it for playing back music or films, etc. And then basically what we have here is we have the 3.5mm connections, one which would be used with RS232, rarely used. This one here, which we could connect in and would be the AV output on, which would be like this. Or if we came along and we wanted to discreetly mount this and we wanted the option of the IR blaster, we can actually just come along here and we could then unfurl this, and using this sticky pad we could stick it directly onto the top of the TV, so the box is totally out of sight behind the TV or in the cabinet, but it still allows us to operate it via this remote control. And then finally we have the power which goes in here, and the output on this, it's 12 volt and it's it's 1.5 amps, so 1500 milliamps on it. So overall, this has proved to be hugely popular box for us, simply because it's so compact. The setup's so nice. The fact that we were able to link it back through a HTTP link to the channel lists that are on our servers. And with each of the boxes that are pre-programmed, we send this list with it. And it just gives the steps in terms of drawing down the latest software, our channel list directly onto the box, which will obviously just be the satellite list, but the terrestrial channels could be added very easily afterwards. So overall, due to the price, the range, the reliability, all the rest of it, the company who are behind this Edition are a huge brand in Germany. So with a lot of their top-end boxes, they're actually selling them into the German market with a 5-year warranty on it. So our return rates in these boxes over a year certainly wouldn't be more than 1%. They're just proving themselves to be massively popular, and it's really part of another winning range of products available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie.